Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So 56-year-old New York resident Ralph Celentano had posted numerous election fraud conspiracy theories on Parler. This was prior to the Capitol attack. And on January 6, Celentano marched to the Capitol. He was carrying a backpack that had a patch on it that was really interesting. The patch said, quote, "Kill them all and let God sort it out." Well, when he arrived at the Capitol, he went first to Peace Circle. That was where the first breach occurred. And someone was heard in a video asking, "What do you think we should do?" And Celentano replied, quote, "Occupy the Capitol. It's our building." After the mob breached those barricades at Peace Circle, Celentano followed everyone to the next police line. And then he was seen and heard on video yelling at the officers, quote, "How dare you, pathetic pieces of shit." Then Celentano and a group of other people linked arms, a bunch of men, and they just started marching straight at the police. So the police ordered them to stop, and they just completely ignored them, walked directly into the police, and Celentano walked into an officer's baton. The officer was holding it sideways, trying to stop them. So chaos breaks out. Celentano starts shoving officers. He's pushing against their riot shields. He leaned into them, and it looked like in the videos and in the pictures that he was using his full body weight against them. So after one officer allegedly struck Celentano, he got really pissed off. He chased after that officer. He chased him like 8 feet. He repeatedly shoved that officer. And then within minutes of those attacks, Celentano approached another officer named Ellis. Celentano lowered his shoulder, he crouched down, and then he charged at this officer and slammed into his back. So the prosecutor says Celentano weighs 240 pounds. And this officer had no idea that this attack was coming. So it completely knocked Officer Ellis off of his feet. He fell down over a 5-foot-high ledge. He landed on a group of people that were below him. And because Officer Ellis was wearing all this stiff riot gear, he had trouble standing back up. And because there was just complete chaos going on around him, he was at risk of being trampled to death. And this Officer Ellis, he served in the military in Iraq. And he said that, he believed on January 6th, he was going to be killed. He said, I feared I would never see my 5-year-old son again. That is how violent that day was. So Celentano later claimed that he slammed into the officer because the officer was hitting an innocent person. The video evidence shows no such thing going on. Officer Ellis was striking someone, but it was because that man was choking another officer. So after attacking Officer Ellis, Celentano remained on the Capitol grounds for about 45 minutes more, and he was recording video during that time. And Celentano said, quote, "We did it, boys. We stormed the Capitol, a sea of patriots, from sea to shining sea." These people are so full of themselves. So anyway, following the Capitol attack, Celentano texted people and he continued to post on Parler. He kept bragging about his crimes. He wrote, quote, "Congress shit their pants today." Also, quote, "We fought the police and took the whole thing over." And then again, he texted, quote, "Me and like 15 guys linked arms and pushed past the police." And quote, "We took the Capitol, Frank, Jenny. I fought the Capitol Hill police and won. We got pepper sprayed, tear gassed, but we fought and we kicked ass." Not a single period, not a comma, no punctuation in that entire thing. On January 7th, Celentano messaged someone named Camille, and he said in part, quote, "We had the time of our lives," and quote, "We would do it all over again." And when people on Parler tried to blame Antifa and BLM for the Capitol attack, Celentano set them straight. He replied to them and claimed credit for the attack and the violence. So Celentano was arrested on March 9th of 2022, and he was charged with assaulting officers, civil disorder, entering restricted grounds, disorderly conduct on restricted grounds, 2 counts of physical violence, and obstructing an official proceeding. Celentano refused a plea deal, and in June of 2023, a jury convicted him on all counts, with the exception of obstruction of an official proceeding. Why, I don't know. So Celentano testified at the trial. He didn't have to, but he chose to, which was a big mistake. And the prosecutor said he made numerous false statements on the witness stand. But he did admit to lying to the FBI earlier. He said that during his initial interview on the day of his arrest, he lied to them. Now, this is what pisses me off, because they never hit these people with lying to a federal officer. They do it all the time in cases against foreign nationals, but never against domestic terrorists. So anyway, based on Celentano's convictions, he was facing up to 8 years or more in prison, 3 years of probation, and $250,000 in fines. And this time, the prosecutor asked for a very hefty sentence. They requested 135 months in prison, so just over 11 years, 3 years of probation, and $2,000 in restitution. U.S. District Judge Timothy Kelly presided over Celentano's case, and at the sentencing hearing, he referred to Celentano's attack on Officer Ellis as disgraceful and egregious. And he said, quote, "The assault on Officer Ellis was a truly cowardly and despicable thing to do." In the end, Celentano was sentenced to 78 months in prison and 3 years of probation. So not nearly enough, in my opinion, but it is one of the longer sentences to date, so I'll take it. And he's been out on pretrial release this whole time, so he's going to be in prison for quite a while, for the foreseeable future. He has to self-surrender. They're allowing him to do that. But guess who won't be voting this November? Yeah, and, given Trump's age, he might not be around by the time Celentano is a free man. I mean, we can hope. All right, I will let you all know when I hear more. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.